I am running for SAG-AFTRA National President. I'm not a celebrity. I've never walked a red carpet. I haven't starred in any hit TV shows or blockbuster movies, but I did stand in for a few actors that have. I've worked for some of the greats, from Paul Rudd to Tom Cruise. But what has that actually gotten me? After 17 years of auditioning, standing in, doing background, getting bit parts, barely making enough to pay my rent, countlessly overdrafting my bank account, and losing my health insurance, you know what I'm not? I'm not a successful working actor. Even though that is all I ever wanted from my life since I was a kid. Like a lot of you. I gave up everything for this. And it pains me to say that I've never felt like my union had my back. But I do believe in my union. I know it can do so much for us. That's why I want to fight for it. But because I'm not a celebrity, I have been told that I have no chance to win this. Well, let me ask you a question. Why? Why would we want a celebrity to represent us at the table? Most of them are producers. And did you know that 88% of all our union members can't even afford to qualify for health insurance? 88%. Only 12% actually qualify. And of that 12%, less than 1% are actual celebrities. And every president that has ever graced that elected office has been a celebrity. No president has ever known our struggle, our grind, our pain. But I do. I do. The truth is, I have been looked at as just a stand-in, a moving prop, disposable, replaceable, and I am more than that. You are more than that. We are all a cog in this massive machine called Hollywood, and without us, it all falls apart. We deserve a chance to make a living off of being an actor. And it's only getting harder. I am right here with you in this moment when our industry is collapsing, when all of our work is going away and our health insurance is almost impossible to qualify for. And no one seems to actually want to do anything about it in this moment. We are at a crossroads, and I've heard all of the quorums from all of my fellow members. Not enough days, I can't make my health insurance, I haven't worked in months. Why is my pension still split? Do I have to give up? Is this show SAG or is it AFTRA? And why? Why is that even a relevant question after a merger that had happened 12 years ago? We need to fix the system. We need to fix all the issues that have been plaguing our union ever since that merger of SAG and AFTRA. We need to be given an opportunity to thrive, not just survive. That is why I am running for SAG-AFTRA President. And here is how I envision our union. A union where our vested pension credits count in totality. A union where healthcare is available to all members who want it, just like it used to be. A union that facilitates a path towards becoming a successful working actor for all. A transparent union that does not hide information from its members. There will be no more secrets in SAG-AFTRA. A union that works for us, not the producers. A union that will do everything in its power to bring jobs back to Los Angeles now. There are many of us who packed up our lives and gave up everything for this profession just like I did. And we have never been given an opportunity to truly do what we love. Act. This deserves to be a profession for all, not just a hobby. And so I ask you, why are we doing this when we barely can make our insurance days? Why are we doing this when after 12 years, our pension credits are still split? Why are we doing this when the majority of our jobs are leaving Hollywood and destroying our livelihood, and no one seems to want to stand up right now in this moment and shout to the heavens, this needs to stop? Why are we doing this? Enough excuses. It's time for results. And I promise you, I will go to work for you on day one to solve all of these problems that were promised to us when our unions first merged. They were false promises then, I know, but they are real now. I will use the full power of our presidency to keep these promises because I am one of the 88% that have not been given an opportunity by our union. I am not a celebrity. I am you. That is why I'm running for SAG-AFTRA National President. Please, let me be our voice in that room. Let's believe in our union once more. Let's fix the system. My name is Brian Kruse. Thank you for your time.
Kicking it, cruise control, and we're kicking it. Daytime, and we're kicking it. All together, and we're kicking it. Oh, kicking it.
Hey everybody, welcome to Kickin' It with Kruse, guys. Thank you all for being here. A big announcement that it's been on my mind for a long time, and not a regular show tonight. We're going to dive into the nuts and bolts of what's happening in Hollywood, what's happening with SAG-AFTRA, and what's happening now in my life, because I want to put that together because there's a lot to say, and I just wanted to let you guys all know off the top, but I am running for SAG president. I'm doing it, guys. Let's go. All right, it's time for one of us to rise up. If no one's going to do it, it's time for me to do it, guys. And it's going to be a long struggle, but I'm going to still be here every day doing cruise control. I'm going to be the most transparent president you have ever seen for SAG-AFTRA. Thank you, Richard Tracy. Good to see you, man. Because transparency is the big motto I am pushing forward for SAG-AFTRA, because I have been told in so many meetings, I've reached that breaking point, guys. I have reached it. I love this union so much. I love it so much. But I've gotten to the point where everyone's like, you do a meeting, they're like, it's a secret, don't tell anybody. Another meeting, it's a secret, don't tell anybody. When it comes down to me, there's gonna be no more secrets in SAG-AFTRA. It's time for us to rise up and do something about this, and I'm super excited to do this. And I know that a lot of people won't know about this. They won't understand it at first. They might say, Brian, what the hell are you doing? I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm here for you. And I'm going to poll the audience all the time, the people. That's one of my biggest things. I'm going to make polls on everything I do so people know what's happening. This will not be a dictatorship. This will be about you guys having the biggest voice ever, and I will be your backer. And I'll be there. I'm going to fight day in and day out, and I just love that. I'm going to build up our poll system, guys. I'm going to be talking to you guys all the time. Thank you, Carter James, because that's the idea. Transparency, realism, and telling the truth. And I'm going to be here for you and bring jobs back to LA. I'm so excited about it. I'm also going to form a board. This is one thing that I've been really thinking about. I'm going to form a national committee. I'm going to have my candidacy, but I'm going to have my board. And they're going to meet every week with me. I'm going to have stunt performers, background actors, rehearsal actors, day players, actor doubles, intimacy quarters, celebrity representation, even radio artists. I want television people. I want everybody there. One person representing it, meeting once a week to discuss how we fix this system for the working actor going forward. And we can do it, guys. I'm excited to talk about this tonight. There's a lot on my agenda, and I want to thank my panel for being here as always, because it's nice to have people to talk about this that I believe in, and they believe in what we're going to go for, guys. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Richard Tracy. Thank you, Queen, as always, for being here. Anybody else that pops in, I appreciate you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, this is day one of Brian Kruse's presidency. If you got a question for me, I will be the most transparent president, and I will talk to you, and you can ask me anything, guys. All right, welcome back, everybody. Happy to have him here. He's been in the business for years. He was back in Hawaii doing doing radio for a long time. He's been an amazing part of Cruise Control. Everybody, welcome our technical director himself, Mr. GR Waters. What's up, GR? Good. Welcome back, GR.
Good to be here, Brian.
What a day.
I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Thank you, GR. I know you are. I just wanted to do something, GR, that was just putting it all out there, And I think that the speech, there's a lot, and there's people that are going to give me shit about it. People give me shit. Some people will say, who is this guy to actually do anything? But we have to do something now. We have to do something now, GR. If we don't do it now, it's going to be done. I mean, they're already trying to take jobs out of town. It's been happening daily, and no one is standing up that actually has done what we need to do to help the working class actor. No one's done it. And it's time for someone to do it. It's time. And you think I want this job, GR? This is a big job. This is a massive job. But you know what? If I can help people...
Yeah, but it'll be good to call you Mr. President.
Well, thank you, GR. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what I tell you though too, there's a lot that has to change. We got a lot to talk about tonight. GR, thank you for being here again. A lot we're going to talk about. Carter
My
Jr.
pleasure.
plans for bringing back to Hollywood. You plan on seeking celebrity help and endorsements? Yes, Carter, but I also plan to be the one person as president to go everywhere. I'm going to go to Gavin Newsom's. If I have to, I will go to Congress and it'll be Mr. Kruse Goes to Washington, and I will bang on all their doors and I will fly out there. I'll be on the House floor because I've been told that that's what you have to do. I will do it. I will go wherever I have to do, and I will be the loudest person online ever fighting for our company, fighting for SAG-AFTRA. And also, I'm going to look at our budget and try to cut some things. I'm going to make sure legislation passes, and I'm going to be so vocal, they're going to have to listen to us. And I'm going to talk to all the studio heads, too, about all of it. But we're going to get into that some more. Thank you, GR, for being here. So much to talk about tonight. I also want to thank again joining us back on Kickin with Kruse, guys. A little separate sidestep from Cruise Control. Joining us back, our executive producer himself, too. Ronald Todd Woodward's been in the business for a long time, over 35 years, guys. Key grip. He grew up in this industry. I love him so much. My friend and yours from at 3Gs. Welcome back, Mr. Ronald Todd Woodward. What's up, Ronald?
Hey, guys. Hey, Queen. How are you? Hey, Brian.
Hey,
I feel inspired from you. I feel inspired from you.
Do you? I don't know. You know, you throw it out there, you try your best, and you hope that people will respond to it, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm at that point, like, you know, I'm at that point. I've been talking about it for weeks on Cruise Control, about how I've been frustrated. I bite my tongue a lot of times. I can't bite my tongue anymore. I just can't do it.
No, you
You
bit
know,
it off already, so no, you
I
can't.
bit it off, and there's a lot that has come out of my mouth. You know, I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say, and you have a lot too with your business, what you've gone through through the business. You're growing up in it. I know you have a big influential voice too, and you're very knowledgeable in the topic. So I'm happy to have you here too to talk about a lot of this stuff, especially coming from like the crew aspect too, because crew is affected so much right now as well.
So much. I don't. Most of my friends are not working, and I can't imagine that. I'm very grateful and thankful that I got to say when I stopped working, because that's when I retired. And that was my choice. I wasn't pushed out of anything.
A lot of people have been though.
Yeah, they have.
And even like the rental houses have not been great at all. They're like laying people off constantly. The grip equipment, all of that. If you're going any place to get this camera lenses, all of that, they're all laying people off. They're cutting back. It's a horrible thing happening to our town.
Absolutely.
And to America too. It's happening across the country.
Well, and you also have to think about it. Besides the first chain of the people that it affects, like the crew people and stuff, think about restaurants. Think about dry cleaners. Think about gardeners. Think about, when you start making less money, you start making cuts from the people that are lower on that list, and people are just losing jobs right and left.
100%. And that's the whole thing. People think about the vendors a lot of times. The vendors, I was working on Nobody Wants This, and even like the main vendor or the main caterer there, he was talking about how hard it was for him. And like, and a lot of them were like suffering, and then they came back and they're thriving now, but they're still not where they used to be. They're not. And they're trying, and they keep promising that there's more and more happening, but they're like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. But only a certain amount of them are getting jobs right now. We got to fix that though. And like, I know Carter's saying how to make it easier for people to join the union. We should definitely have more regulations to bring people in. If people get, honestly, when it comes to that, we have to actually have better payment systems. We have to be more transparent about that. We have to, like, if someone's talented enough, we have to give them a chance. Maybe we make something where it's like, there's some, we'll dive into that, Carter, about some stuff about acting stuff. I'll talk to you about that more because I'm going to get ahead of myself. Ronald. Thank you for being here. We have a fantastic night, a whole different type of cruise control. But everybody, Ronald Todd Woodward, welcome back, Ron.
Thanks, guys.
It's going to be fun tonight. We got a lot. I might be a little fired up. Get ready for that.
Oh, yeah.
And joining us from the East Coast is very important to me to represent the whole country now. We're talking about grips. We're talking about, our older actors, but we're also talking about the East Coast players too, and people who are suffering across the country. So I'm happy to have back here, been doing hosting for years. He has his own show, the Show, and he has been pushing and grinding and struggling just like us, but he's been a little bit more successful sometimes, but we love him so much, guys. Welcome back, Mr. Jonathan McFadden. Welcome back, Jonathan.
Brian, this is so necessary. It's wonderful. It's needed. And I want to do everything I can to help you progress.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, we're gonna be pushing. We're gonna be pushing hard. There's a lot that has to happen, and there's a lot of work. It's not going to be easy. I saw a new comment out there too. Who was that? Hassan. Hassan, thank you for joining us on Kickin with Kruse. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of work to do. I have like a little bit of I have my game plan. I told you guys my game plan. There's a lot to accomplish, but it's going to take a lot of negotiations, conversations, and honestly, passion. It's going to take a lot of passion. And
You know,
I need your help too on the East Coast. I need your help.
I apparently you got a voicemail from someone who used to be one of the Orlando chapter leaders.
did.
She told me her voicemail was a bit too long. She got cut off.
It's okay.
But I wanted to say that, Brian, we, all of us here tonight, are part of what I call blue collar Hollywood. We got to go to work to get paid. Our experience is vastly different than celebrities.
Yeah.
And so I think we need a president who represents the majority, who understands what it's like to go through that dry spell. It's going to be more work for you, but
Oh, yeah.
more work means more worth it. And I think everybody here and everybody soon to watch this will agree.
I just know that the work is something that's needed to happen. I know there's so much work that a lot of people didn't want to take it on. A lot of people don't want to take it on. They want to do the same thing every year. We had a lot of problems with the contract negotiation last time. We had a strike, that people are like worried about their career path right now, if anything can even work out for them. And that's why I'm like, you know what? It's time for one of us to be there. It's time for one of us to be the main voice in the room. It is.
The union is not just for the top
you.
earners. If you're a top earner, you might not even need the union.
Yeah.
The union is there for everybody, including that person that maybe only gets 1 gig a year. And from talking with you, I know that you think of that person
Every
before
day.
you think of the celebrity.
Every day. Every
You've
day. I
got
do.
my vote, friend. You've got my vote.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'm happy to have you here. There's a lot to talk about. We're going to get into it some more. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Kickin with Kruse. But guys, I'm talking about transparency. Of course, that's a big deal. It really is a big deal. And that is why I said before, I'm going to be live all the time. You can ask me questions. When big meetings happen, I'm going to be live afterwards. When I'm also having a great time on cruise control, you can pop in and ask me questions. It's all about transparency, but that is how it starts. And we keep going from there. I want to talk about operations fast because operations are also a big deal. And this is a smaller part of my plan, but still a big part in a lot of ways. We bought this building 2 years ago, guys. Remember that? We bought a building, a new headquarters here for SAG-AFTRA off Chandler in the Valley, and we have not moved in. And to me personally, we're spending about, the rumors have been for a long time, $9 million per year for our rent over there to be off Wilshire with the great view. It's time to move to the Valley. But by doing that, we're going to actually open it up to help a lot of actors out because my idea is to start putting in this facility, it's a lot bigger, a lot more uses and resources for union members. I'm talking about helping us out get headshots. I'm talking about helping build resumes. I'm talking about screening rooms. There's a lot we can do here, but we also have to give our SAG reps more power as well. I found out recently they cannot actually shut a set down. I want to stop that. I think that SAG reps need to be out there with a physical contract that we have. They've gone through it. They've highlighted. They know all the rules. They can answer any question on a day. We're going to train our SAG reps better. There's a lot of great people there. I love you, Brett. I love you guys. But I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to get in there. We're going to get to work. We're going to be the most informed SAG reps, shut things down if it's bad, take care of our people, and also caught cuss. And guys, I'm sorry, but I'm probably going to cut that physical mailer. We don't need that magazine anymore. It's spending too much money, guys. But also on top of that, too, the biggest part of my plan is, of course, our healthcare. Because our healthcare has been going through so many problems. I'm telling you right now, working on set, this is the one thing I've noticed at my level, too. Guys, so many people, it's like a rat race trying to get days. Did you know to get your health insurance right now, it's 106 days. That's how many days you have to get. Now, right now, I should say back in the day when we actually had, 24, 26 episodes, it was much easier and there were much less days you needed. Much less days. But now 106 with episodes being cut down to 10, that's 50 days per season. That's maybe 40 you can get if you're a regular. You're still far from actually getting your health insurance. We got to stop that. We got to start allowing actors, like Jonathan said, the ones that actually work one day to get health insurance. We used to do that back in the day. Before the merger, before Ken Howard just pretty much destroyed our union. I will say it right now. I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but he destroyed our union. He got rid of all this. And all of a sudden you're paying higher and higher premiums. We're not dealing with it from the actual get-go. And we also had an opportunity to fix this in 2020 when the pandemic was happening, but we didn't even be quiet. We were quiet about it. We didn't take care of it. Personally, that's when we should have had a strike. We didn't do it. That's okay. I'm going to fix that health insurance. I'm going to go through it. And if I can't get our actual providers to work, then I will find somebody else that will. I will start shopping around and say, I have 160,000 members. How much you want to pay? Let's make this happen. I'll make a deal. Let's get these people health insurance, guys, because health insurance is important, but also pension is important to me. And pension has to be fixed. It has to be fixed, guys. We're at that point, too. There's so many retirees that had that lawsuit, that Eisner lawsuit, because they were trying to strip people from their pension. And then when Ed Asner passed away, they tried to silence the whole thing and squash it. To me, that's ridiculous. Pension matters. And right now, if you guys don't know, before the merger, we had, of course, separate pensions for SAG and for AFTRA. And they're separate still. We still go to SAG, is this going towards my SAG pension or my AFTRA pension? And people can't actually get enough years to actually retire because their credits aren't bundling up together. I want to stop that. I want to find a way to either make it so all your pension can go to one pot, but ideally, I want to merge it. I know people say that's insanity, but like, again, I will go whatever happens, I will make it happen. This is part of my big deal. Health and pension, health for all and pension fix for all, because I believe that if it takes a law, I will get a law done. I will go to Gavin Newsom. I will go to the White House if I have to. I will go everywhere to get our pension fixed. It has to happen, guys. We can't be leaving our older actors, our ones that put all their years in, lifeless on the street. We can't do that, guys. We got to take care of them. We must respect them and take care of that. And guys, this is a big thing for me. So I'm going to go to the panel very fast. It's a big thing for me, guys. And I believe that this is where we start. Because I know a lot of people that I've on set have complained about it. They've worried about it. They've freaked out about it too. I want to make sure we can actually fix this. And I think it's reasonable. We did it before. And you know what? If we have to do a monthly subscription, I will do that. I want to do less of this 3-month packages things. People have a hard time paying that. I want to do a monthly deal. But I will get a new provider if I have to. I will do that. Like, it's time to do something different. Ronald, when you were working, right, you guys had health insurance. Like, do you remember how many days you actually needed to get your health insurance?
Ours was based on hours.
Okay, hours. Okay.
So what we needed to do was get 400 hours initially, and that went right into the bank. And then each quarter we had to get 400 hours, and that would take care of, it was like 2 quarters ahead of us.
Okay.
So you could literally not make your hours and still be insured for like 3 quarters.
That's amazing. And the banking is fantastic. We don't bank at SAG-AFTRA.
And you can take partial bank. You need like 67 hours. Take them. You don't have to take the whole 400.
Yeah.
And it has slowly gotten harder because I know for certain camera people on sitcoms, because they only work 2 days a week, and that's difficult. That's talking like with actors. They made it simpler at that time, but now it's gotten harder. Now they literally need to book 2 shows to just barely make that insurance quota, and that's wrong.
It's wrong. It's wrong. They make it harder and harder, but I think it's just like it's something that's happening in the business. But here's the thing, too. It's like I want to talk to everybody about this, Ronald, because I feel like if some unions can work better, why can't we kind of pick up what they're doing? But also, why can't we all get together and figure this out so everybody gets this health insurance? We've done it before in the past. We've done it before.
Could you imagine that, a big blanket of health insurance for the whole industry? I mean, how much power would that have behind it?
I would be all about that. I would be all about that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people haven't even thought they don't try it. They don't try anything. They don't try anything. They just say, it's what it is. Raise the premium, raise the days. Our health insurance is screwed, so it's what it is. But to me personally, it's like, let's get down. Let's get down. Let's get all the numbers out. Let's get some donuts. Let's get some coffee. Let's break it all down. Let's crunch some numbers. We'll get our TI calculators out, whatever they are. Let's crunch some numbers.
Get rid of copays. I don't remember ever having copays growing up, when my parents would take me to the doctor. And what is a $5 copay at the doctor's office? What is that doing?
It's just making you pay
putting
something.
Money in the doctor's pocket.
It's a tip. It's a tip. That's what it is.
We can't call them doctors. They are providers. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, providers. Yes.
You call them whatever you want, Ron.
But it's like that. These copays are. I've never understood it. What is that actually doing? Really? I'm gonna pay a $1,800 bill for something, and you need a $5 copay.
Yeah, 100%. And Queen's right. This isn't just the actors union, but we are at that point now. We are at that point. And there's a lot of people that are frustrated, Queen. And that's why, I was like, I got so much on my plate, but I'm also like, you know what? I don't half-ass shit. And if I'm this mad and frustrated about it, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to do my all. And I think that someone has to do it, Queen. It should happen in all facets of reality of life in the United States. But unfortunately, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Someone needs to go in and fix all of it. But unfortunately, no one has that agenda yet. GR?
Brian, I think one of the things that the union needs to look at is if they get us all together, both SAG-AFTRA and
The
my old
DGA,
union.
the WGA, everybody together.
You put them all together, and then you got a bat to go to the medical industry, and say,
Oh, yeah,
"Hey,
you
I've
mean
got 10,000 members, and we'd like a better rate for our health insurance."
Look how many I'm
And you're
throwing
going
at
to
you.
get it.
Well, even SAG, 160,000 people. If Blue Cross and Blue Shield doesn't want to work this out with me, I'll go to Cigna. I'll go to Kaiser. I'll go wherever. I'll start shopping around. And that's what we have never done
Right.
before. It's time to shop around.
Brian, to give you an idea, you and I have talked about this a little bit privately.
Yeah.
My parents took 4 of the same meds that I paid for through the VA.
Yeah.
And our copay, mine was $7 a month for each of them. So I paid $28. Each of my parents, for the same 4 medications, were paying $400 a piece.
It's not right. That's not right. And
That's why
was that
we
happening?
need. Well, the VA's got a little bit of pull. We are kind of a few million of us.
Yeah.
But you put all of our unions together, we're going to have a few 100,000 people, and then you can go to the medical people and say, "This rate is ridiculous."
Yeah, let's crunch this
You
down.
want-
Let's
you
figure it
want the
out. We need
business
someone that wants
involved?
that. We need someone that does that, though. Jonathan, do you agree about that too? Do you think that's an opportunity we could actually have? We come together and it's like try shopping around.
I think that's the smartest move. If you're a member and you pay dues, it doesn't matter how much your dues are. If you're a member and you pay dues, then you should get the benefits that membership affords, which I think should start with, what do they call that? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. How about health?
How about health? That's a big
And-
need.
Right. And I don't think that the people who don't need the medical insurance because they're the top earners, I don't think they should be the ones offered the best. I think it should be standard and equal across the board, and then you can pay for extras out of your own pocket. But membership, standard, if you're in the union and you work a union job, you are part of the union. You're going to be billed your dues, right? I think whether it's 1 day's work or you're working 365, you are given medical benefits.
I feel the same
Otherwise,
way.
why join?
I
If
feel the
there are
same
no
way.
benefits to you, the individual member, and no benefits to the group as a whole, why are we joining? You're going to end up doing what Florida's doing, and most people don't join the union in Florida.
That's a problem. That's a problem. But that's the thing too. I have to go to all the different branches too as SAG president. I have to start talking to everybody and finding out what's going on because it's a mess. It's already a mess. You know, there's different contracts everywhere. We're already allowing this to happen where you don't get pension in different states, only certain ones. And that's a problem too. But they say, oh, we're out of California, we're out of New York, we're out of New Mexico. It doesn't matter, Chicago. Then the rest of the states don't count. Why not? Why not? Let's figure this out. All of our members, all of them count to me. Everyone. I see you around. What?
Think about once everything's ironed out with something like that, if it was just standard across the board, think of how much simpler for accounting for everything it would be that every
Right.
state gets the same. It's just everybody. This is it. You know.
This is it.
Not your 5.2%, your 1.7%. You know, it's just that's maddening.
It's just a lot of work. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's why no one wants to do it. And they promised it when we had the merger. They promised it. And it was part of that whole thing. Don't worry, we got to figure it out. Just like our pension. Don't worry, we got to figure it out. And then once the deal went
They
through,
lied.
they said, oh, they lied. And that's why I put it in my speech because they did lie. They lied. And that was when Ken Howard was in control again. I don't want to talk ill about the dead, but he really screwed our union. And at the end of the day, I think we should be able to take care of this, get into those meetings, figure it out. And the biggest thing why I say we should have health care for all, because we used to have it. That's why.
There's no
Because
reason
when you-
not to.
When you have something, you slowly take it away and everybody else is still making money, like let's stop. Let's think about why we're taking care of people, how we're protecting people, and let's care about our members. Like John said, one day or 365 days, you should get health insurance. And we should not stop that pension machine. That has to come back. And that's my biggest thing, guys. We got to fix the pension. I will honestly go to any house if I have to. The White House, the House of the Senate, the Congress, wherever I got to go, I will go there. It'll be Mr. Kruse goes to Washington. Like Jimmy Stewart himself, guys. I will go on that floor and I will stand up there until my pants are full and I can't sit down. There's a joke for you. There's a joke for you, Jonathan. I will stand there until I can't stand there anymore. I'm serious about that, though. I'm serious about that. Someone's got to do that. Fran Drescher has done it, and I'm not trying to rip on Fran Drescher. I'm not trying to. She tried her best, but she didn't understand what we've been dealing with. She's had a career. She knows like a certain caliber. She's still always getting big opportunities, fashion shows, commercials. They're thrown at her. I have never had that. And that's what stands aside. That's why I'm different. That's why Brian Kruse can do something different. That's what I'm saying.
Brian Kruse is one of us. And who are we? We are the majority that make up this union.
Yeah. And we're also, no one's talking for us in the room. That's the problem. No one's, and they take suggestions. And there's a lot of people I know. There's a great person I know, Peggy Lane will work. I love her so much. And she has been putting pressure. A lot of things in motion happens. But the big thing that happens is the person at the top has all the power. They really do. They really do. And honestly, if I'm there and I'm doing it, guys, they're going to listen. I'm not going to be like, oh, F you and F that. I'm not going to be like that. I'm like, let's figure this out. Let's figure this out. And when they hear from somebody on the ground level that has gone through the trenches, then they're going to start to listen. Then they're going to start to get it. There's a lot more with that too. Guys, on top of that, I missed one thing I want to briefly say about the again, the administration stuff, the operations is elections. Guys, elections need to be fixed too. Now, I hate to say this out loud, but I'm saying it. When it comes to elections, you can do digital ballots when it comes to contracts. But when it comes to elected officials, it has to be a paper ballot, which has to be mailed 3 or 4 days ahead of time to even count. So that's voter suppression to me. We're going to end that. If it's safe, digital, for our contracts, it's safe for our members to use for voting. That shit is done. That is done day one. Brian Kruse gets into the office. This will be the last election of paper ballots, unless you guys want it. If you guys want it, then you will be warranted a paper ballot. For my older generations out there, of course, we're not going to cut you off. We're going to help you vote. Transparency, help you vote. Make it easy, guys. Healthcare is important. Pension's important. But also, guys, my background are very much important too, because that's where I came from as well. As a background artist, when I started off, I moved here 17 years ago. I had no idea, stars in my eyes, no idea how to make it, right? You're thrust into this world of 900 plus people on Elva and the Chipmunks the Squeakle. That was one of my first things, guys. 900 people jump up and down, a green little ball dancing in the sky. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I've been there with you guys. I have been in that shit. And they've given you like water and bananas and they're calling it a day. I've been there. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. And I tell you, I've seen it all. When I was actually, when I was working on Westworld, guys, this is real stuff, and I'm going to be real talking to you all the time. That's called transparency. I had a penis in my face on Westworld, guys. Like literally, I came in to work for a job, and it was my first day, and they said, hey, one of our guys got knocked out because there's all those glass windows, and we're just going to throw you in, okay? My first day, they didn't tell me anything. I was getting there, it's going to be fine. I get in there, and all of a sudden, a guy comes in, he gets naked, takes the robe off, and they say action. I've seen it all. I know what you go through. It's not right. There's pressure put on you. They yell at you. They tell you to do it, and they threaten your job. That's going away. I want an opportunity. I want opportunity for all my background. That's what I'm going to do. So my idea for the background is this: a path towards, again, becoming a working actor. And how do I do that? Well, first of all, I want all of the under fives to go to the background. That's what I want. It's a waste of time for casting. All these people have opportunities. I want opportunities on set. I want to have an upgrade, a bump on set for those background. We used to do that before when they had the Extras Guild of America. This always happened. They had bumps on set. They gave like a $350 bump, and you would get lines in the set. It would help build credits for my background, give you opportunity to get your IMDb credits up for bigger roles later on. I want to grow as a union and give opportunities. I want to start doing that. I want to incentivize this on set so we get better background people on set. I want them to be surrounded, all our union people around the main actors. I want to make sure that they actually are taken care of. All these background contracts need to line up like they do in New York and they do here. We're going to take care of that, guys. We're going to help you out. And I know your struggle. I've seen your struggle. We're going to help that. I call this opportunity knocks. That's what I want. And if I can't get just background to get all the upgrades or all the under fives, then I'm going to actually put in that contract that there is a certain amount per every TV show and every movie of untapped resources, opportunity knocks for actors to get a chance just to say, that'll be $12.50, please. That's it. Give them that chance. And you know what? It might weed a lot of people out because they might be like, this is not for me, I'm out. Or it might give an opportunity for someone to grow and become the next big star. I love this idea, but I also love what I'm gonna do with my actors, which is my big thing, is my actors are very important to me. Very important. What's up? Good to see you, Ty. My actors are very important. That's why I want to start making iActor actually mean something. iActor is this database that you put your information and it goes to nowhere, guys. So I want iActor to actually be certified actors who go through there. I want to have at SAG-AFTRA across the nation, I want to start giving out headshots. I think this is important. Start helping actors get headshots, help them build their resumes, and also on top of that, give them screening spaces. Maybe once a year we do a raffle and give someone some money to actually shoot an independent project too. I want to help our actors grow. Give them opportunity. I don't want to hold them back either, but I want to also help actors, again, get agents. And, you know, we have these franchise agents right now, but what do they do? What do they actually do? So I want these franchise agents to actually work with, again, casting and start pulling our franchise talent over to get auditions. So I want to rework the whole audition process, but I want to help our people get that going because I think we've never had a path. It's always been like, oh, you're walking your dog, you might get your part. Oh, maybe you slip and fall a banana and someone says, that's hilarious. You're going to be the next Steve Urkel. That's not what I'm looking for. I want to have a path. I want to have a path, guys. And I think we start giving roles on set, again, like we used to, and we start actually incentivizing people and maybe even just helping get the best people on set doing background, all of a sudden it's a stepping path, guys, and it's helping people. And that's what I want to do. I know this is a big one. And I know a lot of people are having backlash. I'm going to have backlash from casting. I'm going to have backlash from agencies as well. But my idea is this, though. I'm going to talk to the studio heads, and we're going to have these conversations about how we actually go back in time. Back in time, guys. I don't know if you know about this, but this is a big thing I love. Back in the day of Hollywood, what it used to be like, the studio used to sign on actors, and they live on the lot. That's what used to happen. And you would hop around like 2 to 3 shows a day saying, hey, that's nice. See you later. Have a good day. And you would say all those little parts, and that's how we used to do it. That was amazing. So many people had opportunities to grow their credits and become actors. There's a path. You know, of course, it was kind of like actors boot camp because we're living at the studio a lot. Paramount was a big one too. Yeah, we'll talk about AI pretty soon, Queen. But for me, I want to get that kind of back, at least that mindset of like, you're going around sets, you're getting jobs, you're getting opportunity to talk again, and we're getting people to actually learn and grow on set in a professional environment and not just be a freaking walking zombie, you know? And honestly, it's going to help bring some prestige to this and not be like, oh, fucking background. We don't want that anymore. I don't want that anymore. We're human beings. I have been screamed at as background. I have been screamed at. I was called a little kid. Fuck you. I've gotten all of that before. It's not fun. When you're like a 30-year-old man and you're being called a child and being told to go fuck yourself, it's not fun. You know, I'm just saying. And that's going to end in Brian Kruse's SAG-AFTRA. That is going to end. And I want it reported. I want it talked about. I want these conversations to happen. I want transparency about these things, guys. That's what I want. It's tough, though. Guys, it's going to be tough. This is a big one for me. And I know a lot of people are going to fight me on this because they're going to say, this is not how this works. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is how it's going to work now. This is how it's going to work now. So let's talk about this. That's my wrong slide, guys. Pepe, get out of here. It's not your night tonight, man. I love to have you here, but it's not your night. Sure. Yeah, it's not his night tonight. It's just not. So, Jonathan, this is going to be tough. You've done a lot of casting, a lot of managing, right? Can this be fought a lot? You think it'll be getting a lot of backlash from the casting departments?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
I do.
And the reason you're going to get that backlash, just my opinion, is because that makes some of their work slightly obsolete the way things are now. That's how
Yes.
they're going to take it. I don't think that's the right way to think of it. I think they need to start thinking about casting, needs to start thinking about the smarter way to cast, to audition, to do
In-person
what an
auditions again?
to do what an HR department would do if it was hiring someone. That's the way I think casting needs to work. It's not based on just your audition. I think it should be based on a multitude of things.
Yeah.
I love what you said about the actors living on the lot. I mean,
wish-
that's
man.
probably a huge push, but you know that's how it used to be. That's why
would
they
love
called
that
it a
again.
star. Did you know
Yeah.
that? That's why they called it a star.
I didn't
Paramount.
know it. That's amazing.
So you know the Paramount logo with the mountain and all the
Oh, yeah.
stars around it?
Worked at
Back in the
Paramount for like
day,
80. Man, I love that place.
Back in the day, each star represented an actor that was under contract. That's why they'd call them a star, because it was part of their logo.
That's
That's
amazing.
why we call it that.
And they already put big time actors on contracts already like this. You know, like what if we restructure this? It's a big move. That's going to take time. That's not going to be happening in the first couple of years. It's going to be hard, but we're going to start implementing things in the contract to start moving towards that.
And
That's the idea.
I think what the massive butterfly effect that you're going to create here, it's not that extras are being treated like kids or poorly. It's that they're not being valued, and they're okay with it because that's the only way that they can get the gig. If we start demanding, contracting human decency, then an extra is respected as a person, as an employee of a company, not part of the furniture. I had an assistant director on a commercial shoot. This was non-union. She literally reached into my pocket, my back pocket where the camera didn't see, and pulled out my glasses. Reached into my pocket. And if when I said this is, that's a little inappropriate, that's a boundary issue right there. She was, oh, stop it. Go stand over in the shade, honey. Go stand in the shade. I think it's going to be impossible, but people achieve the impossible every day when they're told they can't do it.
That's
So,
and right
Brian,
now,
it's
Jonathan,
impossible.
I'm
do it.
being told everything's impossible about what I'm saying right now. I'm already been told that. So, you know what though? It's only impossible if you don't try. That's the only time it's impossible.
Well said, Brian.
You know, and that's why I am here. And that's why I'm here with you guys, because I'm trying. I'm trying something, and it's going to be a big push. Pension health, I can do that in the first year. I believe in that. First year. That's my first 100 days where I go strong. But when it comes to this, it's going to take some time. That first contract negotiation, we're going to get breadcrumbs in there to start moving that forward. But we're going to move forward on it, and we're going to have these real conversations. Ronald, what do you think? How much backlash am I going to get on this? Is it going to be massive? Are people going to hate me?
It's going to be massive. People are going to be like, who the hell is this Brian Kruse? But they're saying Brian Kruse.
Yep. Yeah.
It's the old adage, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Would it be nice to have a path? Like, it'd be nice to have a path, though. If you could go someplace and train and learn and get credits and build your IMDb and build your star rating.
Some sort of guidance. I mean, kids come out here and they're like, I want to be an actor. I want to be a star, is what they say. And they're bouncing. They're like a pinball machine, bouncing because this person told them to do this. There's no guidance. There's no route. That's what is needed. Absolutely. Give them something to do, actually, to better their craft. It's because it's not there, and it needs to be there. I do want to add something to what Jonathan said also, and you can use this, Brian. It has to do with Paramount. The term best boy. At the start of everything, at the big studios, Paramount's shooting a big film. All of the department heads that were hired, they come into work and they're like, hey, I need 8 guys over here. I need 8 guys over there on the street of Melrose. That's how they would bring in their crew. The next day, the best one from that first day goes out and picks the other 7. The boss can stay on stage. He's now the best boy.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm giving that a round of applause, guys. See, that's what I love about it. I learn new things from you all the time, Ronald, all the time. I'm always learning new stuff. And I find out like shows you've worked on too. And I'm like, when did you work on that? It keeps happening to me throughout all the 300 and so episodes, 40 some episodes of Cruise Control. So I love that. But
you do date yourself by knowing that. You know that, Ron.
Oh, I love it. Brian actually refreshes my mind on things. And I grab onto things. I'm like, oh, nobody cares about this. Oh, Brian would. Let me save it for the show. Yeah.
Brian loves all this stuff.
Yeah,
I do. But I just care about all of this though too, because I was that same kid. I was that same kid though. Like I gave everything up. I've watched my parents get older. I've given up precious years with them. I've given up precious years with my nieces and my nephews and my family and everybody else. I've emptied my bank account. I'm so broke that I'm like, how the hell am I still here? I'm still here. I'm still here. I make it work. I make it work, and I bite my nails, and I buckle down, and I make it happen. And you know why? Because I don't give up. That's who the kind of person I am, and that's what I'm gonna do for this too. I put all my energy in everything I do. I don't give bullshit. Look at this, guys. I give everything into this too. I don't go half-assed. That's just not me. I didn't come here. Yes, I know, Tim. I know what you come here for. Thank you for being here. But again, GR, you look around, Ronald, he was talking about you, saying he comes here for sexy Ron. GR, I'm going to go to GR fast here too before we continue forward, but GR too. This is a big move. Can you imagine if we could actually get a system where people are like jumping around like that again and working all these different jobs and getting opportunities to act again? That would be amazing to me.
It really would be. That would mean the studios would have to start producing here in Los Angeles again.
That's what
which is something we definitely need.
Desperately.
What did we say last time we looked? There was like 64 empty sound stages here in Los Angeles.
Yeah. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
As of right now, last numbers were like 67% of them were actually full. That's what it was.
And so they're still building new ones.
They're still building new ones. Yeah. They're still building.
There's a whole plan behind that too, which is horrible.
Well, when you get elected, go up to Sacramento and tell those people, I'm going to be polite here, that are elected officials to get their head out of their gluteus maximus and put that money that we've asked for and that even our idiot governor has requested.
He's trying to make it happen.
Give us the tax breaks.
He's been trying to make it happen.
That's what he is. But they pulled They pulled $700 million in tax
down to
credits?
300. Down to 300, yeah.
That's a bloody joke.
Mm-hmm.
And they wonder, does Sacramento even care about Hollywood anymore?
I don't think so. I don't think they do.
Yeah,
but GR, you know why that is, though? Do you know why that is? Because there's no one here saying, "Hey, we got to fix this." That's why. Because no one's speaking up. Because everyone's being complacent. Because everyone just says, "This is what it is." They say, "Fuck it." They're still making money. They're still making money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody like us has been here to speak up and say, "Hey, I'm here. I need help. This business needs help. The vendors need help. The people need help." No one's doing that. And I will be on every social media platform, everywhere, speaking up from day one.
Excuse me.
Day one. And I will go there. And I'll be the first person to do that.
And that's what we need as an industry. People that aren't afraid to say, "Hey, that's stupid. Get your butt in gear and let's do this."
Richard Tracy, traditional training. I think there's a lot of scams out here in LA and across the country when it comes to acting classes and workshops and all of that. There's a lot of scams. We got to shut those down. We do, but that's why I say certified through the union, and that's why I say getting upgrades on set so you have on-the-job training. And it's really easy to find one person to say thank you. Very easy. You line 6 people up, one person will be able to do it on the day. And we can get training so people learn, but also get more talented people on set. And I love that idea. And I think we can do that. But there's so many scams, and there's so many scam agencies too that say they're SAG franchise. Like, who's checking up on that? Who is checking up on that? What does that even mean anymore? Outside of LA, the same thing. I'm going to bring all the work back to the country. I'm going to get those tax incentives across the board. I'm going to tell you, Shelly, outside of Hollywood, I want to get our pension across the board, across all. And everyone says they're insanity to have that happen. I want to fix the pension credits wherever you go. I want to get our actual contracts to count across the country. They have all these weird deals, and it's a right to work state and all that. Well, okay, if you're telling me it's right to work state, I'm going to go find that governor. I'm going to go find that rep. We're going to have those hard conversations. We're going to talk about bringing jobs back to the United States in general. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to talk to all your locals. There's a lot of them that don't want to talk to us. Oh, you know what? Nobody cares to talk to them. Nobody cares. They don't listen to their voice. Because you know what? Again, nobody cares. Nice to see you, Shelly. Thanks for being here. And I think that once we get vocal and we speak up and we talk about this and we have those conversations, people will get on board. I'm talking about a grassroots movement here like we've never seen in this union. I'm going to get everybody across the nation together on this. I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to be very vocal. We need somebody that wants to speak out, and I'm going to go and meet all your people, and we're going to work together on this, okay? And these contracts are an account just not for LA, but also for other places. Because again, I think, we shoot here, we shoot as much as we can here, but also outside, we find our big hot pockets, right? And we get it so that all of our contracts count there, but we also make it so we go back and forth for location and work out those deals. So we are incentivizing for locations for different places, but we are working both states so we can work multiple states for one production. We do it now. How many countries do we go to? We can do different states as opposed to just doing it here in California too. They make the jobs all work and bring jobs across the country. We got to work together. We got to be one cohesive unit. And we never had somebody that asks for that. That's why I'm here, guys. It's a fight. That's a fight, guys. It's a big fight. But we will keep moving on that. If you guys have more questions, let me know in the chat. I want to fix a path. I'm going to call it opportunity knocks. That's my whole thing for the actor. But again, guys, I come from a world, you guys know, I've done a lot of rehearsal acting. I'm a big stand-in. That has been my big thing out here. When I moved here, I started doing background. I got the opportunity to stand in for Joseph Gordon-Levitt on The Dark Knight, or it was on Inception. It was on Inception. And I kind of ran off the races after that. I got Dark Knight Rises. I worked on Secret Life of an American Teenager. I mean, I've worked through the years on American Horror Story. I've worked for Paul Rudd in Quantum Mania, Tom Cruise on Top Gun Maverick. When my boy Ryan Babs had an emergency, he took off, and I filled in and took over for that job. And I love it. I've worked for a lot of these people. I understand that job. And I can tell you that job has never been treated the way it should be in my book, because they call it stand-in. They say a moving prop, you're replaceable. They've been doing some shady shit with stand-ins too recently, which I want to shut down. We're working on that right now. I'm on the rehearsal stand-in committee right now here in LA. So we're trying to fix some of that. But I want to restructure what it is to actually be a stand-in across the board. I have a new breakdown for it, which I will go through in detail later, but it's going to pretty much be like, I want background and I want stand-ins to get opportunities for auditions. So our stand-ins, you work on a regular show? First of all, I'm going to kill the name stand-in. It's not going to be stand-in anymore. It's called rehearsal actor. And when that job becomes rehearsal actor, which we've been fighting for already in the actual board, there's some backlash on that. Some people don't want to be called a rehearsal actor. But you know what? That's what it be, rehearsal actor. We cover for the actors when they're not there. We're doing off-camera dialogue. We're running the scenes. We're doing the blocking. We're helping camera. We're doing all of that. We're asked to step in all the time. And I think my big fight for this is going to be like, okay, let's start getting paid more and add this to be a new category and also put in more responsibilities. We're already doing it. Let's just get paid for it. That's what I say too. So I'm going to start also incentivizing productions to be like, get your rehearsal actors auditions. Just give them auditions. All we want is opportunity. All right? That's all we want. So auditions built into that too. And I want to build that whole thing up to revolutionize that, because I know that job better than any other job here. I've been there, and I've been stomped on. I've been there. Like I said about background, when I worked on a show called Wicked City, let me tell you guys that. Wicked City, it got canceled, by the way. I came in for the 7th stand-in. I was the 7th stand-in that was hired. Episode 3, the producer and director hated stand-ins talking. If you open your mouth, you were fired. Didn't matter. So they fired 7 people before me. I came in, I bit my tongue, I realized that, but that's not the way to treat people. We're not going to do that anymore. When we change the name of rehearsal actor, it's going to change the whole dynamic of it. And we're going to actually sell it to the studios and be like, this is how we fix this. We're also going to make a database. There's going to be a rehearsal actor database under Brian Kruse. What that means, I'm going to get this whole conglomerate of all the rehearsal actors that have been already working for a long time. We got a lot over at Central Casting that have this already. We're going to use that database, hire those people first. And then when we go outside of that is when we don't have anybody that isn't working that can actually fill the job. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start getting our people back to work that are qualified for the job. And when we do that, the producers will see how well we can actually do this job and what it means to production. That's what we're going to do for rehearsal actors. We're going to revolutionize this whole new category, changing it. And this is what I'm doing across the board, guys. I'm going to go back to the panel, because across the board, we do little things all the time, right? We do little things at SAG-AFTRA. It's a little percentage. This last contract was the biggest one. We've actually tried to revolutionize and change, I would say. But it's always little things. 3% raise here, something like this. I want to take these contracts, and I want to start working towards new contracts across the board that have these all instilled upon them. I would like less contracts. I just hate all these contracts. I don't know what they are. What am I working? What's my rate? The reps don't know either. Everybody's confused. And I want to start simplifying this a little bit. Now, of course, there's going to be ultra-low stuff. There's going to be mega big budget, and there's going to be mid-tier, okay? And there's a lot of legacy contracts as it takes some time, because AFTRA made these contracts that say, like, a producer, the show can get canceled, but they have, like, 2 years to start a new show up, and they can keep those same guidelines under that same production. And they can do that for 3 or 4 seasons, cancel it, and have 2 more years to keep it going. Some of these legacy contracts, people aren't getting paid enough and aren't being treated well, are still going. They're still going, and we're working on moving them up, but they're still not right, and so we got to get rid of them. But we need someone to say these aren't right. Yep. We need someone there to say these aren't right, and to put forward what that is. And so I'm talking about revolutionizing everything. I'm not talking about little things. I'm talking about breaking everything down. I'm going to start this cabinet. We're going to start working day one with all the high. I'm going to find people from every department. Every department. I want them to meet with me. We're going to talk about it. We're going to work through my ideas and theirs to make this better. That's my idea. Okay? No more jumping around. No more like not caring about this. We got to go ground level and build up again. We have to do it. And rehearsal actor means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. I've gone through that job, and I know the struggles with it. I know the responsibilities, and I know that it gets treated like crap a lot of times, but then they expect the world of you, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. We already had a strike. We're not going to have a strike, Richard Tracy. We'll not have a strike. Not under Brian Kruse. We will not have a strike because at the time we get to our next contract negotiation, we're going to have this worked out. Because, guys, you're going to say to me right now, Brian, you're insane. How are you going to do this? What's going to happen? I'm going to tell you right now. Here's how it's going to work out. Because I'm going to go to every studio head. That's what I'm going to do. When I start, day one, my first 100 days is the Brian Kruse World Tour here. Zaslav, Iger, I'm going across the board. I am making meetings with every studio head. And I'm going to say, it's time to talk to me. It's time to fix this. I'm going to find out where they stand because I don't know what happened since the last contract negotiation. Those are behind the scene insider baseball stuff. They only tell. There's so many secrets about this. I don't know. So I'm going to get one-on-one with these people. And I'm going to start having a conversation about my needs, our needs, what we've been going through, what they need. And when I find out what they need and what we need, then I'm going to go with the government and start talking about it too and see what I can facilitate with tax incentives. But we have to have these ground meetings, one-on-one, inside talking about this, and I will tell you how it goes as we move forward. I want to meet with the DGA, the WGA. I want to meet with all the departments, the PGA. I want to meet with all these two and hit all the higher ups and talk to them and become a cohesive unit to save Hollywood. Because it comes down to us having one person that wants to say, hey, let's work on this together, and nobody has done that. Nobody has done that. And SAG, you know what they actually say? They say, oh, we don't do that. We don't talk to the reps. No, if there's a problem, and we wait till the contracts and they do theirs, we do ours. No, guys, are we playing the same team right here? We're playing on the same team. It's time to work like that. That's what I say. And even like that commercials contract happened. Everybody, we voted for that. That passed. But I still say there's a lot of things in that commercial contract I want to comb through because, again, it's not helping incentivize us to get jobs back to being unionized. A lot of stuff is still going on. Union, big brands. I want to meet with all of them, too, and talk to them. And I want to help bring those jobs back to the union, too. But we got to have the conversations. We got to be transparent. We got to blast people when it's bad. We got to say things that are good. We got to get in there. You know, that contract stuck for a long time. We're stuck here. But you know what? There's things that I love about it, but then again, there's no guarantees, especially like rehearsal actors. There's no guarantees. You don't have to have a rehearsal actor. Don't have to have it. Great guidelines, but you don't have to have it. So what's the point? Things like that have to change. It just has to change. I know Jonathan knows a lot about the commercial world. Jonathan, what do you think about the commercial world too? Do you think that it's going to be okay with this new contract? Are you super thrilled about it?
I don't know much, and I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the new commercials contract because I haven't had to, because they don't do a lot of union commercials here in Florida. One thing I do, or even in the Southeast, honestly, one thing I do know is that, and I can only speak for my market in Central and sometimes South Florida, nobody, not even union commercials, nobody gets residuals. Instead, you get a buyout for 2 years, and most of the time, your session fee, your day rate, is tiny. I think the biggest problem is that the agents and the casting people and even the producers, they're setting the rates before they're ever talking to the talent. So talent are never seen as professionals who can set their own rates like any other independent contractor. They're seen as sort of the hired help, no different than a caterer, which is a very important job. It is, but that's a different type of job.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%. I want to answer Shelley's question, or she said too, because it's illegal. That's what I've heard. I heard it's illegal to actually merge the pension plans. That's what I've been told. That we need to actually get in there. Sorry to go back a little bit here on Jonathan, but I want to answer the question. That is why I still think, why have we not blown down the walls of Washington and fought for a law to get rid of this? Why can't we go there? Why can't we have the conversations? Why can't we negotiate that? And it really comes down to legality-wise. Why is no one? I mean, I know we tried briefly. There was a brief moment, 1 second, that didn't even blow up any kind of news. Why are we not going to deal with it? I know we hate. I know there's a lot of people that hate what's going on there in Washington. There's a lot of people that hate that. But whatever we got to do to get in there to fix this, we got to do it for our union. We can't keep doing this anymore. There's too many people that are suffering, so we got to get in there and fix it. But it takes us getting together and actually be like, this is a priority. That's what it comes down to. It has to be a priority.
Brian,
yes,
as somebody who, in addition to what Shelley was talking about,
Which
I
love
was
that
with
you're doing.
AT&T when AT&T split up, and you went from having just one to having 9 unions or 12 unions, whatever it was back in the day.
Yeah.
They managed to put them all together. It took time. It didn't happen overnight, but it got done. So,
Yeah.
Shelley, it can be done. It just takes somebody in leadership with the chutzpah to do that.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to trash on our local and our national board right now. I just think the reason why we haven't had something move is because we haven't had someone that wants to really be that vocal and hasn't represented the lower, the 88% guys that are not getting health insurance, that are not making $28,000 a year. You know, I'm getting a little bit of reverb from you, Ronald. A little bit of reverb, a little bit of echo.
Okay.
I'm just gonna mute you for a second. Maybe you can put headphones in, maybe. I don't know if you have headphones. But yeah, I just want to make sure that honestly that we delve into this. And I know people might be mad at me. I'm not trying to trash on our board. I love a lot of people on the board. I want to work with the board, but I want to be that person to be like, enough is enough. We got to change this. We got to fix this problem. We got to fix the health. We got to fix the pension. We got to fix what's the trajectory to be an actor. And I know it's hard. It's impossible sometimes. There's a lot of legislation to go through. There's a lot of checks and balances in the union, but we need a president that understands that that's a priority to our membership now. That's what we need. And that's what I want to be. And not that this is a big undertaking. It's a massive undertaking, but I want to be for you guys. I want to hear you. I want to talk to you. And I want to build with you. And I want to do this right, because we can make a change together, but we have to be on the same force for this. These are important. Let's fix this union for our people that want this. They're phasing out actors. That's also happening too. But Jonathan, yes, the commercial world too needs a lot of work. And the residuals need a lot of work. And I got to get in there. I want to find out one thing about residuals too, because I don't have these numbers yet because I'm not there, is like to see how well those streaming residuals are working too. Because I know an idea of that was you're going to give, if you have so many, I think it's like 20% of your subscribers are watching the product, then you get residuals, but they're also banking money to give out to members that aren't getting residuals. So I'm going to find out A, if the members are actually getting that money, and I want to find out B, how much they're actually generating for our members that are getting those residuals. And I also want to just comb through residuals and have a conversation with Zasloff, with Iger, with all of them, and find out where they stand on it and how we can actually work that out. Because I think the biggest problem is we're dealing with lawyers a lot of times, and we're not actually having the one-on-one conversation. We're just not doing it. By the time we get to the room, it's like we got these lawyers and our lawyers, and we're fighting, and they don't understand the contracts. They don't understand the job, and they're trying to explain to them the job, and they're trying to explain to their lawyers, and that's a conglomerate of a mess. And to me, I just feel like if I get there and I go there and I tell them actually what's happening, and I bring more people in that I know that have been there, that experience things I don't know, we could get the word through to them before a contract happens again. That's what I want to do.
I think a big issue is a misconception of what an actor or a talent's or a model's actual service is. It's not the time on set. In fact, I often say the time on set, I give you that for free. It's fun. What you're paying for,
I love being on set.
right? What the producer is paying for is not only the training and experience to get it right the first or maybe second time, but also using your product, which is your image and likeness and performance that has been recorded, to using your product for sometimes ever, but a $1,200 or frankly even a $5,000 usage fee for 2 years, that's not creating the kind of income that bolsters an economy and fuels the majority of this union. I don't know exactly what the solution is. I'm not running for president. I think you have solutions, and I think it's much easier to have good relationships and knock on doors and be invited inside those offices than to go in there trying to kick them down. And I think you have that ability and that likability.
That's what I want, man. I just want to go talk to everybody. You know how exciting that is to me, actually, to have that power to be like, they're going to actually answer my phone call and talk to me and they understand what we're going through? That's, to me, that's the biggest thing that makes me excited about this. Like, it's a lot for me to put myself out there like that. Anybody that sees me right now and says, fuck this guy, he can't do it, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a hard path. but I'm the kind of person that will put that work, and I'm excited to have those conversations and try something different and plead to these people and tell them the job and tell them what it's worth and talk to them and then bring the people in too and have these moments before we're actually bringing lawyers in. That's always when things break down. When lawyers are there, everything breaks down. Ronald, we've had that conversation a lot of times, right? About lawyers, it's like, what happens? Even with cruise control, we're like, we don't want to just have lawyers here. That's not some of the deal. Let's work between ourselves, right? Let's figure that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think
last resort lawyers.
Yeah, right? And I think that's a problem that well, Jonathan, I know loves lawyers, but I'm saying before we get to that point, to me personally, I want to tie those conversations.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know, lawyers will happen. Lawyers have to happen. I can't write all the jargon for it. That's not me. I can throw things down.
Right lawyer. It's the right lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah. We have some great lawyers at SAG-AFTRA, but they just don't know what it is to be in the job. And unfortunately, most of the people that have been celebrities, again, I say it again, celebrities have run SAG-AFTRA for a long time. I love that they've given their time, but they don't have enough time too. They're working on their jobs, doing their things. I do a lot of stuff too, but this would be my dedicated job right here. I'm going all in. I'm that kind of guy that just needs this to work out for me and for everybody else. And that is why I'm taking it on, because I got nothing else. I'm here. I'm ready, guys. Let's go. Let's go. That's how I feel.
You know, you bring something up that like the lawyers don't know what you guys are doing. Well, shouldn't they know everything that you guys are doing? It's like when I had a little audition for, I found out it was an Asian ad agency, and I learned how to say hello in Chinese. It was Chinese, and I learned how to say hello so I could walk in the room and say hello. And I just thought, well, you know, there's some interest in them. And you know, maybe it couldn't hurt my chances. I got it, you know, and it was fun too. But I learn everything you can about what you're doing.
Can we hear that hello in Chinese, please?
Oh, let's go, Ronald.
I forgot it.
Ronald!
It was gone. It was gone that day.
I'm going to say though too, guys, like this is a hard path. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm the best person for this job. I'm just saying that I'm one of you that gets to struggle, and that's why I want to do this.
How refreshing is that? That is so refreshing.
I think the key word here is access. We as members of this union have access to the person who, call me crazy, leads us, represents us.
Yes. The most vocal present. That's what I want to be.
You don't speak for us. You speak, or I should say, we speak through you.
Through me.
And that makes a difference.
And that's what I want to be.
Speak through you.
That's why I said I want to really build up, again, a lot of the stuff on the app. I want to build up the poll system so I can start personally. It'll be President Kruse. I mean, I'll probably say Brian Kruse. I'm not going to say President Kruse. That seems pretty whatever. Brian Kruse, Jonathan likes it, wants to know what you think about this. And I will send polls out, you know, throughout the week about things I'm doing. I always just poll the audience, poll the crew, poll the cast, poll all my actors. I want to find out what you guys think as I'm doing stuff. You know, because that's going to only help me gauge when we get to actual contract negotiations, what you guys like, what you don't like. Because
of course.
That's us working together. And that's what I want to be as a president. I want to be transparent. I want to be connected. I want you guys to see me live, ask me all the questions you want. Tell me I'm an asshole. Tell me I'm doing great things. Do it all. I'll take it. I will take it. A good example is As a Working Man starring Jason Statham. Thank you, Queen. Yeah, Jason Statham. You got to be the most, you know, out there to push it and to push for the agenda for all of the people. And I know people are frustrated right now and upset. Of course, the last contract negotiation, the biggest thing was, guys, you know what it was? It was AI. It was AI. Everybody was saying AI. But I would say this. Hey, come on, we gotta have fun too, guys. I'm always gonna crack jokes. That's just who I am. I'm always gonna crack jokes, which is why I love being having these conversations. If you guys never watch Cruise Control, that's all I do is crack jokes all day. This is the most serious I think I've ever been on Cruise Control, guys. So Queen, Richard Tracy.
I've ever heard your voice.
Yeah, because it's a lot I'm putting out.
I didn't know he could do it.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
And as the
you're doing it well, and this is so sorely needed. It's so needed. This industry is falling apart, and we need more than a Band-Aid. We need to start the healing process, and I think you're giving us a great beginning.
I'm trying.
Microcosm of the world.
I'm mad about, like Richard Tracy said, that these movies are bombing too. That's a whole different thing. I don't know what we got to do, what kind of popcorn buckets we can sell to get these ticket sales up. I don't know, but we'll figure that out too.
Non-$80 ones, Brian.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
everything is about money. Let's not kid ourselves. It's all about money. So
Yeah.
more access to the head of our union equals more engagement. More
Yeah.
engagement equals more interaction and more influence from the members. More interaction and influence and engagement equals more members, which equals more income, which equals more power. That's not the right word.
But more
Only three
sustainability.
words. Power
More
is not it.
sustainability, though, too. We can
Thank you.
sustain that.
Sustainability,
Yeah.
influence. Yes.
Yes. And that's why we merged our unions.
You know what just sounds so cool to me is, and we've had plenty of this throughout the regimes, but it's like Gabriel Carteras, from 90210.
Yeah.
Brian Kruse, he's a stand-in. What?
How did he get here?
What? Wait a minute. Really? I got to hear
What's
what
this-
this guy has to say.
And then people say, what's a stand-in? You know what I mean? There's also that happens.
I love the rehearsal actor. I love that. And please stay true to that with the rehearsal actors, because there's two things on set that always drove me crazy. One was we would come in and light in the afternoon, and we're lighting where the actors were. The actors aren't staying for it. So we had our rehearsal actors. And inevitably, the first AD would go to the producer and say, if I cut these 3 rehearsal actors the 2 hours of overtime today, we'll save $150. Oh, yeah, cut them. And it's like, it's like, well, what are we doing now? We're lighting air? So then, what, and I would say to my boss, who would, Jim Robertson, and I would say, we need them for this scene, and that's at the end of the night. So I think we should have them tonight. Because,
Yes, we should have them.
And I would do that in any different way that I could possibly do it. But it's like, seriously, the person on the set that might be potentially making one of the lowest wages, you want to cut 2 hours of overtime? Why?
They're pivotal to your job too, right? Pivotal to you.
We have to light somebody. It's like, so you know what happens? When they send them home, guess who stands in? Me.
Yep.
I'll
Or
stand on a mark.
PAs will
We'll
stand
stand on
in.
mark. And it's so wrong. And I hated doing that. I always made myself busy. I'm like, I can't do it. No.
We're
I
going to bring
always
them
made
back,
myself
Shelley.
busy.
We're going to bring them back the right way.
The other thing that I hated was whenever I would find or talk to somebody from background and stuff, I'm like, so what do you do? And they're like, I'm just an extra. And I'm like, so you're part of the background actors? And I would just spin it. And they're like, well, yeah, but and I'm like, no, you're here. It's vital. We have 3 people walking back in the set. It's got to look like a lived-in set. But I hated the way that they talked about themselves, and it's only because that's the way they were treated. They didn't learn that. I mean, they learned that. They didn't know that.
I mean, I've seen that a lot happen, being mistreated like that as well. I also don't think that we should have rehearsal actors standing in for more than 1 actor per scene. That doesn't make any sense to me.
How are they? Seriously. It's like, okay,
what?
jump over here, jump over there. Yeah.
Happens all the time. You're jumping here, jumping there. And on sitcoms, you're jumping between different things. You're entering, you're exiting, you're running around. On single camera, I've been on shows where it's like all of a sudden there's 6 characters in a scene. They got 3 stand-ins. And they're like, you guys get figured out. And I'm like, what do you mean we figured out?
That's saving what, $450? Whoa!
It's
on an $11 million production.
But I do want to encompass what a rehearsal actor is and have a lot more responsibilities and actually be like an understudy job. And that's how I'm going to facilitate to raise their wages, because you're going to have to, all these things. It's been like an a la carte thing for a long time, which I love. I know people love the a la carte thing, but like $14 for a water bump and $25 for a meal penalty and $12.50. And to me personally, I just think that we just raise the rate. We cover everything up. It becomes a working wage. We make it so that, I also want to help out, because there's also this whole thing about 3 days for rehearsal actors on sitcoms. They're guaranteed 3 and that's it. And then they can't actually find jobs the other 2 days. I want to, at least if I cannot raise the rate, I want to guarantee 4 days for people at least when they're full time. I also want to work on talking about those holding weeks too, because they have these weeks where it's like, we have a week off because, that's what we do. We have 3 on, 1 off, and you guys, good luck, but you have to be back in a week. I want to make sure that we have some holding money going to our rehearsal actors. It's important. You hire them for a reason. They work for your actors. They save you money every day. They need to be respected.
I mean, Brian, that like holding, we call it we call it just hiatus weeks.
Hiatus week, yeah.
But department heads are paid, because technically, if I'm laid off on a Friday, that last episode, I'm going to go find another job.
You're going to go.
Yeah. So that they need something to come back in. So we do get hiatus pay. Now, it changes. A good show with a good producer knows how to pay it, and you'll get the 5 days. Other producers
You've told me.
don't know.
You've told me, Ronald.
Yeah.
You've told me. You can
Yeah,
make it
and,
happen.
it's like 1 to 3.
Where'd that money come from?
Like
Oh,
1
it's
to
there
3.
now.
Exactly. That's my one producer. She's like, "Oh, we don't have any hiatus pay for you. Hold on a second. Let me call you back." She calls back and says, "I don't use my greens budget until episode 17. I got you your hiatus and then the gaffer his hiatus. Next year at Nickelodeon, they all have
Applause
hiatus."
for Ronald Todd Woodward. I love that so much. But that's it. You have to fight. You have to talk about it. You have to bring it up. You have to have that conversation, and you have to have it before you're working. You gotta work these things out. And I just think if we have conversations again, as opposed to threats of a strike, that can help. Jonathan, you want to jump in there?
Question for you. Well, quick question for you.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the benefits to members, to actors, to talent.
Yes.
Can you take just a moment and tell us what the benefits to the producers and the studios and the production companies would be when Brian Kruse is president? This is how it will benefit you, Mr. and Ms. Producer.
Yes.
Here's why things will be better.
You're going to have better trained actors, better trained background. You're going to actually have people that want to be there. We're going to start going through and my biggest thing is I want to make every background person SAG certified. That's my idea. I want to, people don't talk to Central Casting, and Central Casting is one of the biggest casting companies for background, right? Which is a big thing. It's a big thing out here in New York. I'm going to start talking to them. Now, I've been told, no, we can't talk to them. Why not? And I know a lot of people at Central Casting. I know a lot of the casting directors. I've been doing this for 17 years, guys. And so I'm going to start getting that database. So I tell the producers, you're getting better trained people. They're going to do more things for you now. Your rehearsal actors, they're going to do your off-camera dialogue. They're going to run your rehearsals if you need them to do. They're going to actually film when you need them to at a dime's notice, but they're going to be paid more. That's what it is. But you're getting high quality people. I'm going to give you a database of people. They're going to show all these actors they've worked for before, all these productions they've worked for before that they've done great jobs for, and we're going to give you the best people. Now, again, I'm going to start to get the background people to be an actual certified SAG people. And that's a big deal. It's going to take time, but I'm going to go through with Central Casting, with Cast of Thousands, with Sandy Alisi. I know all these different cast agencies. I'm going to meet with all of them. I'm going to try to bring them all into one database. Now, that's going to be tough. But my idea is to train our actors on set, give you the best quality people. That's how we're going to save you money. That's what I'm saying. And at the end of the day, you're going to be excited to have people there. You're not going to be like, oh, look at these people. We don't want to give them crafty. No, we're going to have people that want to act. And they're going to be there because they want to be there. And you're going to have more quality people. If we're giving lines out on set, do you know how many more actors that are just doing auditions that are fantastic actors that are not doing that are going to spring into that? And you have better quality people just in the background. And then you're going to be like, hey, can you say this? Bam, you say that. And it adds so much to the scene. I'm going to talk to the WGA about this too, because I want to make sure the WGA is writing in these little parts that can be cast on set and also helping out those people. I'm going to work with everybody on this. I feel like we need a path towards, again, success. And I'm going to find ways to cut corners for them. We're going to do that. I'm going to talk to producers and say, what do you need? I'm also going to be the person for the producers. As I said this before, I'm going to say it again. That's, before we said, oh, we can't do that. No. What do you need? I'm going to make that happen. I will go talk to Gavin Newsom. I will go talk to Donald Trump if I have to. I will talk to everybody in my Rolodex I can find, and they will answer that phone call because I will be SAG president. I'm saying, this is what I need. Now, you've already said, Mr. Donald Trump, you've said you want to give us tax incentives, national tax incentives. I'm going to call them out. I'm going to say, I need this so we can shoot in America. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to him. We're going to have that conversation. If it has to go that far, that's what it'll go to. And I'm going to say, we need this to save Hollywood. This is what I need to balance all this out too. So studios are happy and we're happy and actors can survive. And you guys get your court gestures because that's what we are, guys. We make you laugh, make you cry. We bring on the joy and you can have that whole, distraction from reality. We need to have that. We need to laugh. We need to cry. We need to smile. We need the best trained people. And SAG will do that again because it never has been a union to actually help actors get jobs. And I will make it that. I will make it that. It's going to take time, but I will make you have the best talented people there. That's my goal.
I really like the vetting process that you're talking about, or the certification process. I think when you do non-union work, even for the really, really, really big films, I remember I did one, I won't say what it is, but I did stunt work for that particular film.
What is it?
And I'll tell you off the air. But
holding back on us.
I remember they had the background talent check their phones when they arrived. They had
Happens all
to
the time.
take a ticket and put that phone in there. Now, the stunt people didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do that. The rehearsal actors, I'll use it, didn't have to do that. But the background talent did. And they couldn't even use their computers because it had a camera on it. And I remember thinking, if you're afraid somebody is going to take pictures backstage or whatever you want to call it, then you're hiring the wrong people. You're hiring the wrong people. Because the people who want to be there, they can have their phones and play their games. They're not going to break the rules because they don't want to get fired, and they love being here and want to be invited back the next day for this 3-month, in production session. So I love the vetting process.
It needs to happen.
I think it's going to be, again, difficult.
It's going to be
but
tough. It's not easy. I can't just
you can
snap
get
my
it started.
fingers, but I can revitalize iActor and try to get people to upgrade their resumes. We can work classes on that. Get headshots up, go through it, start getting your credits. I want to connect with Central. I want to connect with Sandy Alisi. I want to connect with all these different casting agencies and actually have the conversation about going through and figuring this out. There's an unsold sung thing that happens too. They say, oh, if you're a criminal and you get out of jail, just go down to Central Casting. There's no background checks. And so when a producer hears that, what do you think they think? We can get whoever we get now going to set, right? No, I want to work on that. I want to work on that. I would love to start working with them, but I have to get in there and talk to the people there. And I think that why are they deciding who works and who doesn't too? Why? Why? Because someone's paying them? But what if SAG says no about this? Work with us to make this work. Why doesn't SAG just say this should be better? There are people that are blacklisted at Central that don't even get an opportunity to ever work on a show again because they say, man, you're bad in our book, so we don't care. But production's trying to hire them, and they try to stop those people from actually working, but production says they're good, and then they're fighting, and that's the middle person. We need to stop that from happening too. People need a chance to go to their union and say, hey, this happened, and stand up for themselves and get due process through your union. That's important to me. That's important to me.
Right on.
Honestly.
Brian. Right on.
Was I the only one that got the irony there that background actors don't have background checks?
Right? Isn't that hilarious? Isn't that hilarious?
You might have
Yeah.
been, yeah.
Which makes no sense.
It makes
If
no
you think
sense.
about it.
No. I mean, it's going to be a fight, guys. This is all going to be a fight. One thing else is a fight, but I don't want to go too much into it, but I just got to bring it up too. This as well is, of course, AI. And AI is one of those things where we've been fighting. It was a big thing for the contract negotiations. And when it came down to it, the one thing that really bugged me, and a lot of people I know bugged too, and they say there's legalese for this too, but I would love the contract to say human actor. Human actor. To me, that is monumental. There's no way around that. Until we get to the point where we decide that a human could be AI, which we're not there yet, then we'll deal with that. But as of right now, human actor to me means a human being right here. We know what the definition of human is, and an actor. That seems like the best idea for me. And I know we got fought on that before, but I'm going to push for that big time. That's what I want for AI. I want to go through these guidelines too and make the best protections. Of course, our likeness matters that most. And if it saves production money to give us our daily rate and scan us and use it for that deal, we're going to work that out so the actors are being paid. But I want it to be human actor. So it's not just a simulated performer that can mean anything to me. I want to get that taken care of because I care about my actors and I care about my human actors that get jobs, guys. That's important to me. That really is. And the AI thing, I've told you guys before, I love technology, guys. If anybody has watched any episode of Cruise Control, I love technology. It is my biggest thing ever. But we got to work with it. We got to figure it out. We got to flow with it. And we got to protect our people along the way. That's what we have to do. And I will have those conversations about. But human actor is my big golden wordage I want to put in there. That's me. And guys, if we can make that happen.
Okay, well,
Did we lose Brian?
Brian.
Why was this Brian? It's AI.
Brian is back. It's not.
Was that the AI Brian or the real Brian?
I think it was. I think it was Megatron, the computer AI thing that was like, silence him.
I think so.
We
still
cannot.
That was definitely something trying to stop me from talking right there. That was definitely something trying to stop me right there. That was the machine,
leave
guys.
Brian alone. Get out of the software.
And the AIs, See, the AI is already getting mad at me because I'm trying to take its jobs away. So it's coming after me already. Let's fight that, guys. We're gonna work with it, and we're gonna try to get that in the contract. That's what I want. That is what I want.
Cool.
And I think that's pivotal. I think it is too.
Yes.
That's crazy how they just kicked me out when I said that. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that
That's a
weird?
bit weird. Yeah.
Well, it's going to love this then, because Brian, I'll tell you, I love AI.
It's a revenge of technology.
I've been taking the courses. I've been learning how
you
to
have?
do this stuff. Yes, I have.
I
I've
wanna do
even created some commercials and things that are fully AI.
Get the
And I'll
fuck
tell
outta
you
here.
something. I'll tell you, not for sale, just in practice, in the course. And I'll tell you something, and I might be the only talent that thinks this way. I don't think AI replaces talent. What AI does is amplify it. It's just like if you hire an accountant and that accountant uses a calculator, that calculator did not replace your accountant. It did the work for you
Yeah.
that you do not want to spend extra time doing. For example, and I'll make this super quick. If I'm a hosting talent, I'm reading a teleprompter, I'm not selling my time, I'm selling my likeness. So if AI can capture my likeness so that when I'm producing something myself and I misspeak and I catch that in the edit, I can go right in there to AI, type it in, and it will correct it for me. It's the likeness that I'm selling, not the time. That
There's things
is
I wanna
a
talk to you about
benefit.
off
Yeah.
camera.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There are a lot of benefits for AI. There's a lot. That's why we have to just protect the likeness. And if it comes down to copywriting your likeness, we shouldn't have to get that far, but maybe our union does that for us somehow. But we have to protect our likenesses. We did a lot of moves with that in this last contract. We really did. But I still think we need to work on that verbiage. I think that verbiage matters so much. Everyone's going to look for a little thing. Ask the WGA what their deal, what they got too. They've been cutting people on and trying to use less writers in staff rooms. The verbiage matters. And to me, human actor makes the most sense. Protect our likenesses, Jonathan. But I agree. There's a lot that helps people with AI to facilitate. I know James Cameron's pushing for the use of it to help visual effects move faster, get past the rendering. I know we have Andy Serkis trying to use it over in the UK as well to actually use for like simulated worlds while they're trying to figure out shot performance for the actual camera department. So we have people trying to integrate it. And I know we have that Sora thing coming too. I want to meet those people too. Then Sora is a big deal because Sora is going to make human background sequences that can fill production level sequences, guys. We got to talk to them. But there's also, again, there's that new AI company Cartwheel that's coming too that we've been talking about as well. And Cartwheel is going to make fully rendered, production-ready animated films as well. We got to deal with that as well. We got to talk about all these different things. That's the one thing about Cruise Control. If you guys are just meeting here the very first time tuning in, we've been covering all of this. We cover all the news. We covered all entertainment. We delve into it. We discuss it. We have a good time. We crack some jokes. But at the end of the day, we're
Drink some
informed.
alcohol.
Once in a while. We're human beings. We're having a good time, but we also care about this business, and that's what I care. I care more than anything else. Again, I've been here for 17 years, and I'm not going anywhere. And if I can do something to help out, if I can stand up and have that voice of the people, I will be that person, because a lot of people don't want that. It's not a paid position, guys. You know what I mean? You know, it's not. You're not making money. You're not making money, Jonathan. You're not making money. So I'm taking on something for free to help fix our union. Now, they will help you pay again for if you're traveling. I know a lot of people have gotten paid money, but it comes down to it's not a full paid. It's a volunteer position. It's a lot. It's a lot I'm giving up. It's
It's going to be difficult for you to even book acting work
Oh, yeah. It's going to be difficult for me.
if you get this. I think you should get it. I think
believe
it's
in
worth that sacrifice. Yeah, but I do think you should get a salary.
I think the president should as well. So they can actually dedicate
Yeah.
all their whole time. And usually that's why celebrities do it too, because they already have all this money and they don't have to worry about working. Again, holding us out of the office.
They do it for free, but what are they really doing? They're not representing the majority.
Yeah. And they
The
don't.
people who make up the party. Go ahead.
No, it's
And I believe
Let's
that
just
brand-
get you elected, Brian.
Let's try to make this happen.
So what can we do, those of us watching right now? What can we do to help?
Yes. So the very first thing we have to do as a group here too, if you are a member that is in good standing here at SAG-AFTRA, I would love if you guys would sign my petition. So my petition right now, I need 200 signatures from all of our members throughout the whole United States. I need 200 signatures of people saying, yes, I'm in good standing. I want Brian Kruse to be president. That's going to get me on the ballot. I need 3 members from a local board any place across the country to also sign that ballot. So that petition will be linked to this. I will put it on the individual small version. You guys will see it when we're done. It'll be the very first thing listed on everything. You can click on it, sign into your SAG-AFTRA profile, and then please, I plead with you, help me out and sign my petition. I am not here to burn the world down. I am here to fix it. I am here to stand up for us. I am here to care. I am here to listen. And I am here to be that voice of the voiceless. That's what I am here for. At the end of the day, someone's got to do it, guys. Why not Brian Kruse?
I think if people aren't sure whether or not to vote for you, I think what you've said tonight is that they can reach out to you.
Yes.
They have access. And you're happy to hear them out.
I'm happy to. I'm happy to hear them all. And I will be back here on Cruise Control doing our normal shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday, joking around, having a good time. Feel free to pop in, ask me any questions. We'll do town hall along the way. I also want to do that as well. I'm going to probably do some interviews. I'm going to be reaching out to everybody to spread my message and spread what I want to do across the country. All right, I'm pulling everything out. If I'm going to do this, I'm not half-assing it, guys. I'm here for you. Someone needs to be here for you, and that's what I want to be. I want to be that person. It's a struggle. It's gonna destroy my social life. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care.
You're what?
What?
I know, right? Yeah, I write my social life. Do I actually have a social life anymore? I don't feel like I do, guys. But
Say hello to the gray hair.
Yep. Say hello to the gray hair, guys.
And Cruise Control won't go away. It'll just be a platform where you're talking about what's actually going on.
Well, at least you've still got some, Brian.
It'll be running on its own, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Right. With his likeness, is that what you're saying? With AI, is that what you're saying?
No.
We'll make it happen. That's what I'm saying. We're not going anywhere, guys. This is a big thing, and I know it's a lot for a lot of our regular viewers here too. It's a lot different episode of Cruise Control. But I tell you this, with all my heart and my soul, I love movies. I love the business. I've been watching movies since I was a kid. Love going to that movie theater experience. I know we argue about it back and forth on the show, but it's ingrained in my soul. I love this business. I've loved it since I was a kid. I want to help it if I can, and somebody needs to do it, and I will give it my all. And I'm not going to always get it right. I will admit when I get it wrong. I will tell you when we're doing something great. I will tell you when I fall on my face. I will be there throughout the whole process, one-on-one, live streaming, talking to you in the chat, having conversations when I leave a big meeting, and telling you everything that I can when it happens in real time. For the very first time, get ready for the most transparent president you've ever expected to see at SAG-AFTRA. For you, and for our union, and for our future. Thank you for being here on Kickin' It with Kruse. Hope you had a great time tonight. There's a lot. I know there's a lot, and we got to keep going. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody in the chat. Shelly, thank you for being here. I know it's a lot, and I know there's a lot of battle happening with all this, the board and all that. And I know I'm coming out of left field, but I just want you to know that I care about this a lot, and I'm only doing this because I feel like we need a voice there, and I think I can do it. I know I can do it. I know I can do it. And I know that they'll listen to me because I am passionate and I'm driven and I care. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to blow the world up. But if someone gets in my face, I can hold my own. And that is why I'm here. And guys, thank you again. Who else we got? Everybody else in the chat. Hassan, thank you for being here. Queen, Darby, Richard Tracy, appreciate you as always, Richard Tracy. Take that hat off one day and stay a while. Thank you guys for being here. Carter James, Nilic Master, but also thank my panel. GR Waters, the Thirsty Daddy. Thank you for being here, GR. Appreciate you, man.
My pleasure, Brian. I'm glad to see you doing this, bud.
Thanks, GR. It's a big move. We're gonna break some walls down, GR. We're gonna change some things up. Thank you for being here, GR. Appreciate you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Of course, also happy to have here, of course, our fellow executive producer himself from At 3Gs, guys. A massive fan. Love him so much. One of my best friends and yours, Mr. Ronald Todd Woodward. Thank you for being here, Ronald.
My pleasure. Brian, I'm exhausted and I'm not even running.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do, Ronald. Thanks for being here. And I love having my East Coast player here himself, Mr. Jonathan McFadden. Thank you for being here, Jonathan. I know it's late where you're at.
It is, but look, you're the right guy doing it for the right reason. And you know what? With all the access that you're preaching, all the communication and openness that you're talking about, this revolution will indeed be televised.
Oh, yeah. We're not holding back. It's all going to be out there. And I'm going to say some dumb stuff along the way. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say some dumb stuff, some great stuff, some funny stuff. I'll be cracking jokes with all these studio heads. I'm going to make, what's up, Neri? I'm going to make fun. We're going to have a great time, guys. People call me Paul Rudd all the time. We're going to slap at the bass. We're going to get the need for speed, and we're going to get out there and help this union survive, thrive into the future for, you know what? For everybody out there that wants to be an actor. Thank you for being here from Cruise Control and for kicking it with Kruse, guys. Take care. Enjoy yourselves. If you want to have a romping good time, come back on Wednesday and we'll have a normal episode. But a town hall coming soon. Big updates are going to keep flowing forward. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I love you all, and I appreciate your time. Have a great night. And until next time, everybody, see ya. Take care.